What's good, y'all? Before we get into this video, I do want to thank you guys because this is the first video I've made since hitting 250 subscribers. I really cannot voice enough how much I appreciate each and every one of you guys, whether you were my first subscriber, my 30th subscriber, 100th, 250, you aren't even subscribed yet and you're just watching me for the first time. I appreciate each and every one of you guys that ever has clicked on my video. It really does mean the world to me, but with all that being said, 250 is nowhere near where we're gonna be in the near future for how I'm seeing this. So if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Let's get right into the video. So as I'm sure many of you guys do know, the Detroit Pistons now have the official longest losing streak in NBA history at 27. I do want to preface, I am recording this video right before they play the Boston Celtics. It's a pretty safe assumption that they will lose to the Boston Celtics though and bump that losing streak up to 28. And it is really easy to come on here and just talk bad about the Pistons. So I figured I'm not going to do that. I'm going to try to find the silver lining here for Pistons fans. And I'm not going to sit here and act like this Pistons team has a bunch of bright spots that are really going to blossom and everything, because in reality, they're a bad team. There's a reason why they lost 28 games in a row. But that does not take away from the fact that they do have certain bright spots on this team. And the first one I want to talk about is Cade Cunningham. This is Cade's third season in the NBA, but a lot of people forget that this is basically his second season because last year he played only 12 games before going down with an injury and sitting out for the entire rest of the season. Nonetheless though, Cade is showing improvements on pretty much all assets of his game, averaging a career high in points per game, assists per game, field goal percentage, 3-point percentage, while also getting to the line more often and shooting a higher percentage when he gets there. And I don't think Cade is getting enough credit for what he's doing right now, producing so much offense for this Detroit Pistons team while having little to no real offensive talent around him. Cade is having a career year when it comes to finishing at the rim. He just seems way more comfortable finishing at the rim, especially through contact as well. He's using his big body to absorb that contact, keep his concentration and still finish. And again, it is even more impressive when you put the context around these stats as well, considering the Detroit Pistons have absolutely the worst spacing in the NBA. By far, they are last in 3-point attempts, 3-point mades. I think they're 29th in 3-point percentage. They really have minimal shooters on this roster, and it's really easy for teams to then just pack the paint on Cade. He is still finishing through it though. I do want to give a shout out to Bojan Bogdanovic. He is their pretty much only real shooter on this team. Beef Stew, Isaiah Stewart, he's also had a pretty good year shooting the 3-ball. But, I mean, let's be honest. If those are your top two shooters on your team, you're looking pretty bad. Cade has also shown this year that he can be a great pick-and-roll ball handler. He is just going through these pick-and-rolls with confidence. He's either getting to his spots in the mid-range, getting to the basket, or playmaking out of that as well, whether that is a lob or a drop-off pass to the big that he's rolling with, or a kick out to the corner. Again, they don't really have the shooters to really show, the assist numbers or all of that, but he's making the right plays a lot of the times. And the number one thing I want to remind Pistons fans right now in this very rough time is you guys have pretty much done the hardest part of the rebuild. The hardest part of the rebuild is finding the guy or your offensive engine or the guy that you're going to run through. And I full-heartedly believe that Cade Cunningham is that guy for Detroit right now. They don't have enough talent around him, surrounding him to be a competent team. You could put some of that on coaching as well, some of that on the front office. There's a lot of blame to go around, but I do not want you guys to lose faith in Cade Cunningham. There's that stupid narrative going around that Cade Cunningham is a losing player, and I do want to remind you guys that Devin Booker was also given that title of a losing player. Now, fast forward a few years, he has a final appearance, he's a perennial all-star, one of the best, if not the best shooting guards in the NBA right now. It's very lazy to just look at a player that's on a losing team and say that he is a losing player, and if you were to actually watch Piston games and watch Cade Cunningham play basketball, it is very easy to see that he is not the main reason they are losing games, and he is not a losing player. Another bright spot that I want to point out on this Pistons roster is Jalen Duren. The Pistons flirted with the idea of playing Isaiah Stewart and Jalen Duren together at the same time. Obviously, that did not work out considering how the season went. So them putting Isaiah Stewart on the block shows me they are fully committed to allowing Jalen Duren to be the center of the future. He still is only 20 years old. Last season, he was the youngest player in the NBA, so it makes sense that this season he still is one of the youngest players in the NBA. He may be only 20, but he has grown man body and athleticism. He is super strong, super athletic. Before the season started, Jalen Duren was given full reins at the starting center position. They said, you know what, you're going to go out there, you're going to be the main guy for us, Jalen. Unfortunately, a few games in, he did suffer injuries. He was out for an extended period of time, came back, was injured again. So it's been tough for him to really stay on the court this season, but when he has, he's been pretty good. And when I was talking about Cade Cunningham, I mentioned how he has shown flashes of being a great pick and roll ball handler. Well, the pick and roll between Jalen Duren and Cade Cunningham, while it has been super limited considering Jalen's dealing with injuries this season and last season, Cade was dealing with injuries, when they do it together, they look amazing. They both were on the USA select team this summer, and there were reports that they were really building a lot of chemistry in this pick and roll and just on the court in general. And you can really tell when they play in the NBA. When they're running the pick and roll, they just kind of move like on a string together. They know exactly where to be to stress the defense, where if they commit fully to Cade, you know, Jalen Duren knows where he could be to get that pocket pass or that lob off. And Jalen's biggest asset of his athleticism really just amplifies this. Like I said, he's a great lob threat. He can finish through people. It also allows him to be a fantastic rebounder, both defensively, closing out possessions, or offensively. He grabs the offensive rebound, he does the putbacks. He is actually sneakily good at, you know, the kickouts. He knows who's going to be open and knows when to pass it, who to pass it to. He's shown flashes of being an above average passer for a center, but at that same time, he's also shown his age at times and his inexperience at times and just tries to do a little too much. Overall, though, I really do like Jalen Duren as the center of the future for Detroit. He brings size, athleticism, strength, hustle. He brings a lot to the table for them. And the last bright spot that I want to talk about in this video is 5th overall pick rookie Ausar Thompson. It is no secret that the offense is very much a work in progress for Ausar. He really does not bring too much offensively. Right now he's shooting 16% from 3. Again, it's no secret that that is really the struggle for him. And while he does have his very obvious limitations right now at least, he has such a high basketball IQ mind that he knows how to put himself in situations where he's not really hurting the team as much. He is a fantastic cutter. He knows when to cut, where to cut. He just sees the open space, goes there, shows himself to the passer, makes it really obvious that he's open and can cut to the basket, finish. He's super athletic, so dunking and laying up is not really an issue for him. Luckily for the Pistons, though, he is just a rookie right now, so he has plenty of time to develop a three-point shot. All I really think he needs to do is develop a decent corner three-point shot. Just stick him in the corner on some PJ Tucker stuff and just let him catch and shoot there if they want to help off of him. That's like the bare minimum they really need to do. Obviously, if he could shoot from all around the arc, it would be fantastic. But this offseason, all I need Ausar to be doing is sitting in that corner, knocking it down, catch and shoot. Where he does bring his impact, though, and the reason why he was a top 5 lottery pick, is his defense and his rebounding. He is elite of the elite when it comes to defensive rebounding, as a rookie at least. Whoever the Pistons are versing on a given night, their best perimeter player will be guarded by Ausar Thompson every single night. Whether that is Devin Booker or Zach LaVine or Jason Tatum, no matter who it is, he will be guarding them every single night. And what makes him so good is the fact that he is so versatile and so switchable, which in my opinion is one of the most important things to play in a modern defense right now, is to be able to switch in the pick and roll and guard multiple positions. And at 6'7", Ausar can do that. He's got great lateral quickness. I've already talked about his athleticism, can jump out the gym, super fast as well. And then also he's 215 right now, 6'7", 215, and that's his rookie weight. It is given that every single player pretty much in the NBA, the rookie, they come in looking like one thing, and then year 2, year 3, year 4, they just look absolutely yoked out of their mind. They add at least like 15 pounds of muscle. So when Ausar adds that and gets even stronger, he'll legitimately be able to guard 1 through 4, even 1 through 5, depending on who the center is. He is a fantastic help defender. Whenever someone gets beat on the Pistons and their man is driving to the basket, Ausar will come across and swat it out of there. A bunch of times he's had a few blocks like that. And then also his versatility right here. He will also pick up the ball handler full court, guard them 94 feet, poke the ball away, get a breakaway steal. He really can do a lot on the defense. He is a defensive switch army knife. So Piston fans, when you're thinking, when will we win a game again? Will we ever win a game again? I do want to remind you, yes, you will win a game again eventually. When? I can't tell you, but eventually, I promise you, you will. And then also, these 3 guys that I mentioned, they are 20 years old, 21 years old, and 22 years old. You guys have a great young core right now. It looks very, very rough, but believe me, just trust the process and let it roll. If you guys have watched Piston games this year, let me know who your favorite player to watch has been, who has been your favorite bright spot. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave it a like, subscribe so you don't miss the next one. In the description, there's links to all my social medias, so make sure you follow me on all those to keep up to date with me. Catch ya.